Today I fucked up by causing a scene at work because someone ate half of my lunch. This happened a few days ago, but I'm still feeling the after effects. At work, there is a lunch thief. Our boss has not done a single thing about it despite the many complaints from multiple employees. So far no one has any idea who the thief might be. People label their food and hope for the best. We have been warned about how using certain methods to try catch said thief could potentially get us into legal trouble, so it's hard to catch them. I, like many others, have had my food stolen a couple of times. It's annoying, but I would grit my teeth and get on with it. Earlier this week, I packed myself a grilled cheese sandwich and a cupcake. I put a sticky note saying property of different mango, please don't touch. I was already looking forward to my lunch while laying in bed the night before. It sounds juvenile, but if you have ever had to hide from everyone or pretend to not be hungry during lunch, you probably know the good feeling you get when you get to be like everybody else. My lunch break came and I went to get my food in the fridge only to find half my sandwich in the cupcake wrapper. It was the last straw that broke the camel's back. I just started bawling in front of everyone. They just gave me weird looks as I excused myself to the restroom. Now the other employees laugh about how dramatic and emotional I was over something so trivial. I've never been so embarrassed in my life. TLDR, I caused a scene at work after someone ate my food. IDK, people have told me I have a nuclear take on this, but I think lunch theft should be a fireable offense. It is such an insanely fucked up thing to do, IMO, so I don't blame you for your reaction. Just took a quick look on Amazon, and it seems there are plenty of inexpensive lunch bags boxes that have a small lock on them. Either that is a solution, by removing the convenience of snatching your lunch, or they take the whole bag. In which case, a tile or an AirTag tracker could help, and then you do indeed have a theft case on your hands. This route gets you out of the concerns of altering your food and facing any backlash in that way. We have been warned about how using certain methods to try to catch the thief. Gee, I wonder why your boss doesn't want the thief caught. Smiling face with open mouth and tightly closed eyes. You didn't fuck up today, dude. Your response to getting your lunch stolen was valid. Everybody needs their little happiness to get through a hard day at work, and yours got taken away by that food thief asshole. Your workplace is toxic. I mean the same coworkers that also complain about being robbed their lunch, judge you with looks and shit for experiencing it this time. And your boss doesn't do anything against it and forbids you to take action yourself. Lock and key, then it becomes vandalism and a police matter. Alt. Put it on company bill for each stolen food item. It's so trivial, yet everyone in the office is pissed off there's a lunch thief. Which is it? They need to fucking choose. Also, for all they know, you could be so strapped for cash that was all the food you could have that day, or you had dietary health requirements that meant you couldn't get anything else. Gotta love how the company has used the intimidation of legal issues to keep you all from catching the thief, instead of focusing on the fact that someone is literally stealing from coworkers. Just because it's food, doesn't mean it's not theft. It's my sandwich. Your office is fucked. If a coworker breaks down, it is not normal to laugh about it. In healthy environment, they'd worry about you and maybe even make an effort to find out what's going on and support you. Next job you have is going to be so much better. And don't do the thing where you lace a food with spice or laxatives. Tempting, but can land you in trouble you don't deserve. At the most, buy a service station egg sandwich and let it sit in the car for a few hours before you leave it in the fridge. Boss basically said don't you dare put something funny in my lunch. That is insane. At my company I would march right into HR and demand action. I actually wouldn't have to march or demand anything, they don't put up with shit like that. There would be a camera or something the next day. Over something so trivial, I wouldn't hesitate to fuck up someone over eating my lunch. That ain't trivial. What if you have special dietary needs? What if you're trying to avoid certain foods and now have to resort to cafeteria or whatever the fuck they have? And by the way, your boss is equally as shitty as the lunch burglar. Your coworkers sound like assholes TBA. I'd chop a few peppers up into my next sandwich. Stop putting your lunch in the fridge. A small cooler bag and a refreezable ice block will keep it just fine until lunch. Keep it under your desk. I can't find the comment now, but someone suggested that every time you have to purchase a lunch due to lunch thief, you submit an expense report for that meal. I love this idea. Hey OP, you know those birthday cards that play obnoxiously loud music when you open them? I wonder if you could put a mechanism into your lunchbox that does that. Then just listen for it, and when you hear it go off, go see who is in the fridge LOL. Don't take that shit. I would have gotten louder and raised hell. I'd be pissed at my coworkers for not being upset. Fire up HR and tell them you have special dietary requirements and you will be filing an ADA and harassment lawsuit. If you don't want to stretch the truth, then tell them you feel unsafe at work with your food being stolen. That you will not be coming into an unsafe work environment. And that if the theft happens again, you will be calling the police. You didn't make a single mistake. You just don't fuck with people's food. They might be having a hard time, and I'd turn a blind eye if someone was stealing a loaf of bread at a grocery, but a personal meal is sacred. Knowing hunger sucks. You didn't FU, but your workplace sucks. As HR, I would be going to battle for you. Theft is theft. Also, if someone stole my lunch repeatedly, I would be pissed. It's time for hot chili pepper revenge. It's not illegal, you like hot spicy food. It's not your fault someone ate something that didn't belong to them. HR needs to get involved. Holy hell, we had a food thief for a bit. Turns out they were stealing other things as well once it was investigated. Search for lunchbox with lock and key in Amazon. Buy, use and forget the issue. At the dollar stores they sell window alarms you could install inside your lunchbox. As soon as it's opened, it'll let off a shrill squeal that alerts everyone and disturbs the saboteur. Go to the HR department. Your manager, everyone who laughed at you are guilty of creating a hostile work environment for starters. Send a message. People who steal lunches should be fired. It's theft. If they are stealing lunches, they are probably also stealing anything else not nailed down. It hurts morale and employee retention. It's a violation of trust and good manners. As someone with $3.75 in my bank account for the next week, I would bawl my eyes out if someone stole my food. I would literally go hungry. You're not overly dramatic. Your boss is 3,000 the thief bud. I threatened to have someone fired over this same thing. It's theft, plain and simple. Had this with cold drinks at a place I worked years ago. I used to bring in fruit juice most days and leave it in a communal fridge, and some bastard regularly drank it. I stuck a label on it saying I have cold sores. I didn't. The bastard wrote "so do I" underneath. Fun option. Wire up an audio device that emits a loud siren when the top of a food container is lifted. YT or Instructables will have some easy to follow plans with where to get parts Amazon. Controversial option. Put lots of Dave's Insanity sauce on a good-looking sandwich and see who coughs and takes sick leave. You'll find out very fast. If this is at the level where management needs to warn employees against retaliation, it is definitely at the level where they should be installing a surveillance camera. Your best solution is not to put your lunch in the fridge. Can you avoid the fridge? Either take something that doesn't need to go in the fridge, or some cooler box, or as I have done sometimes frozen food that will thaw during the morning, and you finish it in the microwave. Just watch out for water dripping off. First thought, why not just get a lunchbox with an ice pack and keep it near you? Problem solved. Alternatively, I'd get a can of cat food and make a tuna sandwich and feed them that for about a week. When you find out who it is, subtly work the word meow into conversation. Are you understanding me right, meow? Call your state's Department of Labor and make a report. Lunch theft is 100% illegal in every state. My sandwich. My sandwich. Time to break out the Carolina ghost peppers. I would stick a clear note on it: lunch thief, be warned, this food may contain ridiculous chili or dog food. I also lick all my food items profusely, and just so you know, I often get cold sores. Fair warning, if you take my stuff you will regret it. I just started bawling in front of everyone. Well, I get that you were upset, but you should express anger rather than frustration. March right into the boss office and show them your lunch and ask why this behavior is still being allowed, and make sure everyone hears and sees it. A basic security cam costs like $50 off of Amazon. It's easy to solve.